Welcome to In the Circle with WOG. My name is Tim Bentley, and I am here today with somebody that I want you to say hi to. Tell us your first name.
My name's Tyler.
So Tyler, tell me, what do you do here in town?
I'm a researcher for Roche Tissue Diagnostics.
And then tell me, how long have you been a Wogger, Tyler?
I think a year and a half now, Tim. So
Okay.
I think I started in 2019.
So how did you find WOG?
Actually, a couple of my coworkers used to run with WOG, and as I was building myself up, I've actually only been running for 2 years. And after I'd been basically running solo for about a year, they're like, you should probably, hit up one of the groups in town. And they really recommended WOG because they had been there before. They said the community is really great, so I just gave it a shot.
How did you find running? Then, if you've been running for a couple years, how did you come to find yourself as a runner these days?
I got to a point where I felt I was the unhealthiest I had ever been. Most of my hobbies are pretty sedentary. Like I like board games and video games and that kind of thing. And so I decided to pick up running, and I started actually with the app Couch to 5K.
Are you from Tucson? Where'd you grow up?
A little town called Surprise, Arizona. Actually, it's northern Phoenix.
And did you go to high school there?
Yes, I did. Well, my high school was in El Mirage, but Dysart High School. Yeah.
And did you play sports, or what did you do in high school when you were there?
Actually, when I was in high school, I was a part of the JROTC program. I was actually on a couple teams in JROTC, so I was a captain of the rifle team. Was a part of the Raider team, which was more map reading and physical activity, but that was about as much physical activity as I got. So a lot of push-ups. And
How many push-ups do you think you've done in your life?
I think too many for me to count, at least.
If you had to do as many push-ups as you could right now, how many could you do right now?
Without stopping, somewhere between 75 and 100.
Don't worry, everybody. I'm not going to make him do 75. So you came into running a couple years ago. So you felt unhealthy, and you started with. Did you do the Couch to 5K? Did you do a 5K?
Yeah. I believe my first 5K was actually the Roche Children's Walk. My time was somewhere around 26 minutes.
If you had to run a 5K at your fastest right now, what would your time be?
I think somewhere around 21 minutes.
That is such a good improvement.
I think actually I owe it a lot to WOG. I think a lot of the workouts and stuff have really helped me speed up a lot. So
you've been running a couple years. What's your favorite race so far?
I really like the Catalina State Park run. I use that as kind of like a gauge of how I was improving. So I ran because it happens twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. So the first year that I was running, I did the 5 miler, and that kind of whooped my butt. Later that year, though, I significantly lowered my time by it was 15 minutes or something like that. It was pretty significant.
That's your favorite race. What's your best race so far?
I want to say the Tucson 5000, because I think I got like a 21:12 on my 5K.
So how long have you lived in Tucson?
I've lived in Tucson actually almost exactly 10 years.
And did you come down to Tucson to go to the U of A?
Not immediately. So I actually started out at a community college, Glendale Community College, and I got my associates there. But I was working full-time and going to school part-time.
And then did you, when you went to college here, did you work anywhere in Tucson, or what did you do?
I actually worked for Starbucks at the U of A. So I became a barista and learned how to make coffee.
Who is the most famous person you've met?
I actually compete in video game tournaments. I have met many of the professional players that are like iconic in the video game community. One specifically is Daigo, which is one of the best fighting game players in the world. He plays Street Fighter, like the old school Street Fighter game, and that's what I compete in.
What is your world rank in Street Fighter?
Currently, I am probably in the top 5,000 online. In Arizona, I'm typically, it depends, but recently I've been in the top 10 of Arizona a lot of the time when we compete.
Top 10? So is it like the Atari games that I grew up with, Street Fighter with a joystick, and you hit the button as fast as you can, and then that's...
Actually, kind of. Yeah, so we use controllers like that, with the joystick and the buttons.
I would crush then. I would be so good at my Atari 2600.
Yeah, bring it on.
Okay. So when you compete in these games, you win prizes, you win money, you win accolades, you win high fives. What do you get?
You win money a lot of the time, actually. So 30,000 to 150,000. The biggest competition that I've competed in is actually called Evolution Fighting Game Tournament, and it happens every year in Vegas. So there's 2,500 people just trying to compete in this one game, and it's just a bracket that you have to slowly grind your way through.
Do you so it's just the game, you don't have a character that you play with, right?
Yeah, actually, the first character that I ever used is Ryu, which is kind of like the main character of the game. And then recently I've switched to a character called Akuma, which is just an evil version of that character, but it's just better. It's just Ryu, but better.
Tell me, what's the most obscure fact you know?
Shoot. Let me just make sure that this random fact's actually true. Okay, so the smell of rain is actually called petrichor. And we actually get it a lot in Arizona because it happens when rain happens after a long period of settling.
Well, I believe you, since you are a research scientist and a master Street Fighter. So I believe you. So anything you want to say to the fellow Woggers that are watching this right now?
Mostly I miss all you guys. Like, I really like running with everybody in our group, and I feel like everybody kind of cheers each other on for our, advancements and stuff like that. And I'm really excited for us to all get back together again.
Thank you, Tyler, for being in the circle with WOG. We'll look forward to seeing you out on the streets, and look forward to seeing everybody back on the streets soon. This is In the WOG. This is In the Circle with WOG. We'll see you later.
See you later.